I don't want to give them any hope unless there is hope.
Hello everyone, we are Group 2 and we will guide you to the 10 essential parts of the anatomy of the brain.
Frontal lobes. The frontal lobes are part of the cerebral cortex and are the largest of the brain structures. They are the main site of so-called higher cognitive functions. The frontal lobes contain a number of important substructures, including the prefrontal cortex, orbitofrontal cortex, motor and premotor cortices, and Broca's area. The structures are involved in attention, language, and comprehension. Frontal lobe-associated functions. Executive processes voluntary behaviors such as decision-making, planning, problem-solving, and thinking. Voluntary motor control, cognition, intelligence, attention, language processing, and comprehension, and many others.
Parietal lobe. The parietal cortex plays an important role in integrating information from different senses to build a coherent picture of the world. It integrates information from the ventral visual pathways and dorsal visual pathways. This allows us to coordinate our movements in response to the objects in our environment. It contains a number of distinct reference maps of the body near space and distant space, which are constantly updated as we move and interact with the world. The parietal cortex processes attentional awareness of the environment, is involved with manipulating objects and representing numbers. The associated functions include perception and integration of somatosensory information, like for example, touch, pressure, temperature, and pain. Spatial processing, spatial attention, spatial mapping, and number of representation.
Occipital lobe. The occipital lobe is the primary visual area of the brain. It receives projections from the retina via the thalamus. From our different groups of neurons separate and encode different visual information such as color, orientation, and mood. Pathways from the occipital lobes reach the temporal and parietal lobes and are eventually processed consciously. Two important pathways of information originating in the occipital lobes are the dorsal and ventral streams. The dorsal streams projects the parietal lobes and process where objects are located. The ventral streams projects the structures in the temporal lobes and process what objects are. One of the associated functions include visual.
The temporal lobes contain a large number of substructures. Functions include perception, face recognition, object recognition, memory acquisition, understanding language, and emotional reactions. Damage to the temporal lobes can result in interviewing neurological deficits called agnoses, which refer to the inability to recognize specific categories like body parts, colors, faces, music, and smells. Temporal lobes associated functions: recognition, perception like hearing, vision, smell, understanding languages, learning, and memory.
Thalamus. The thalamus is heavily involved relying information between the cortex and the brainstem and within different cortical structures. Because of this, in cortical interaction, the thalamus contributes to many processes in the brain, including perception, attention, timing, and movement. It plays a central role in alertness and awareness. The associated functions include relying motor and sensor information, memory, alertness, consciousness, contribute to perception and cognition.
The hypothalamus regulates a wide range of behavioral and physiological activities. It controls many autonomic functions such as hunger, thirst, body temperature, and sexual activity. To do this, the hypothalamus integrates information from different parts of the brain and is responsive to a variety of stimuli, including light, odors, stress, and arousal. Other functions controlled by the hypothalamus include parenting behavior, perspiration, blood pressure, and heart rate. The associated functions include hunger, thirst, body temperature, sexual activity, arousal, parenting, perspiration, blood pressure, heart rate, shivering, pupil dilation, circadian rhythms, and sleep.
Cerebellum. The cerebellum monitors and regulates motor behavior, particularly automatic movements. Some recent studies have associated cerebellum with cognitive functions such as learning and attention. Although cerebellum accounts for roughly 10% of the brainwave, it contains more neurons and the rest of the brain combined. The cerebellum is also one of the few mammalian brain structures where adult neurogenesis has been confirmed. The associated functions include coordination and voluntary movement, motor learning, balance, reflex memory, posture, and timing.
Brainstem. The brainstem plays an important role in cardiac and respiratory function. It regulates the central nervous and it's crucial in regulating the sleep cycle. The brainstem has many basic functions such as heart rate, breathing, sleeping, and eating. All information relies from the body to the cerebellum, and cerebellum must traverse the brainstem, connecting the brain and spinal cord. 10 of 12 cranial nerves emerge from the brainstem and supply the face, head, and viscera.
Corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is a thick bundle of nerves that connects the left and right cerebral hemispheres, allowing for interhemispheric communication. It is the largest white matter structure in the brain, consisting of hundreds of millions of nerve fibers that reach out into every major cortex in the brain, also known as the callosal commissure. This unique region of the brain is much like a biological motherboard, connecting many parts of the brain and integrating countless processes. The associated functions include connects left and right hemispheres and allows information to pass between them, transferring motor, sensory, and cognitive information. Integration of cognitive activities, body movements, and sensory information between left and right sides of the body and the brain.
Hippocampus. The hippocampus is the structure in the brain most closely aligned to the memory information. It is important that early storage place for a long-term memory, and it is involved in the transition of long-term memory to even more enduring permanent memory. The hippocampus also plays an important role in the spatial navigation. The associated functions include first, early memory storage, second, formation of long memory, and third, spatial navigation.